All right, and welcome everyone to this week's edition of the Wrestling with Fans podcast. This is a pro wrestling podcast created by fans for fans from a fan's perspective. My name is Kyle. This is episode 141, My Hole. That is the name of this episode because it is all about Nia Jax's hole. If you watched Raw last night, then you are fully aware of what I am talking about. And I'm getting stupid updates on my phone while I'm trying to get things going. It's so annoying. This has been a hell of a night since I've been home from work. The live stream started, couldn't get the audio to go, but here we are. We're going. So, what is good, everyone? What is good? Oh man. All right. Let's dive in to the um oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, into the my normal spiel here at the top of the show. I'm all discombobulated. I apologize. But here we go. Facebook.com/wrestling with fans. Hulk smash that like button to keep up to date with everything we do here on the podcast. Join us live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. right here on YouTube. Let's take a look. So we're aware. Every Monday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. Eastern on Mondays, we do a Raw preview. Then on Tuesdays, like tonight, we do the podcast live stream from 8 to around 9 p.m. Eastern. Wednesdays from 7:30 to 8, AEW and NXT preview. It's all about the Wednesday Night War. Take a break on Thursday, come back on Friday with a SmackDown preview from 7:30 to 8 p.m. YouTube.com, search Wrestling with Fans Podcast, click the blue logo, and then click that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified anytime we post a new video or anytime we go live, make sure you click that little bell icon to turn on the notifications. But if you want to listen to the show, you can download or stream it at any time on our website, wrestlingwithfans.com. New audio podcasts are uploaded every Thursday morning at 6 a.m., just in time for your morning commute to work. Or if you want to take us on the go, you can download us to your favorite podcast listening device. You can find us wherever you get your podcast fix. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, all that good stuff. Wherever you get your podcast, you can find Wrestling with Fans. All right, so we are going to talk about the one and only My Hole. We're going to talk about My Hole. Not just My Hole, but Nia Jax's hole. Because if you watched Raw last night, we've got one of the most memeable events in the history of wrestling. But let's run down what we found out. So, at the top of Raw, actually, let me back up for a second. On last night's preview, WWE had only listed 3 things that were on the sheet for what we could expect on Monday Night Raw. We didn't get a lot of information. However, Raw was jam-packed with a lot of stuff. And all of it was unannounced. Like, they just kind of ran with it. I predicted we'd open the show with Drew McIntyre talking about Sheamus, what happened last week. We got that later in the night, but instead we open with definitely not GM Adam Pearce in the ring and welcoming back none other than Shane O'Mac, Shane McMahon, back in WWE for the first time in a while. I'm not sure the exact last time we saw him, but it's been a while. Thank you to whoever shared the live stream on Facebook. It doesn't pop up for me as to who it is, but thank you for sharing that. Much appreciated. Oh, Hannah. It was Hannah. Thank you, Hannah. Appreciate it. She always shares the stream. I appreciate it very, very much. Anything to put a few extra eyes on the podcast, we'd love it. So thank you, Hannah. Appreciate it. Hope you and Steven are doing well in this crazy time that we're in right now. But yeah, we open with Shane O'Mac. And Shane is there to announce that Drew McIntyre will be defending the WWE Championship at Elimination Chamber in an Elimination Chamber match. And he announces, along with Adam Pearce, who he will be facing in this Elimination Chamber match. And they are all former WWE champions. You got AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Sheamus, and Mr. Money in the Bank, The Miz. So right off the jump of Monday Night Raw, we get this huge announcement for Elimination Chamber. So already off the jump, I'm just kind of like, all right, I was totally off. Wasn't expecting that at all to kick off Monday Night Raw, but it was a huge start to the show. Which then leads into a match between AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy, which I am all about getting some AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy action here. AJ picks up the win in about 14 and a half minutes. We also get the return of Kofi Kingston to the ring because we get a tag match. The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods taking on Teabag and Slapnuts from Retribution for whatever reason. I'm guessing, and here's my hope, and I'm going to go and put on my prediction hat here. This is going to lead to Kofi Kingston versus Mustafa Ali. Now, if you go back to 2019, the year of Kofi Mania, originally, the original plan for the Elimination Chamber was Mustafa Ali to be in the Elimination Chamber match. He got injured and was replaced with Kofi, and the rest, as they say, is history. And they're starting to play off of that the reason Mustafa Ali is how he is now is because of that moment. Which is great. I know this wasn't planned at all, but the fact that they're actually going with it, or if they do go with it, it would be extremely smart of them to do because it's a great story. They can kind of tell. Literally, Mustafa Ali is out for retribution for losing that spot to Kofi Kingston, which is really nice. Then we get the Lacey and Charlotte bullshit. Which apparently Lacey's got the inside track with somebody because she says during this promo that if she beats Charlotte, she's going to be the number one contender for the Raw Women's Championship. That she's not out there to do anything with Rick. They're not sleeping together. She has her sights set on Asuka and the Raw Women's title. Okay, cool. They're kind of switching it up from where I thought they were going to go with it. Which leads into a match, Lacey and Charlotte, to which Charlotte dominated. And because she was beating Lacey Evans' ass so good, the ref DQ'd her. So now Lacey Evans is the number one contender for Asuka's Raw Women's Championship. Those words did come out of my mouth. It's another one of those stupid bullshit finishes. Excuse me. And it doesn't really do anything for Lacey because at every step, Charlotte has physically dominated her. And she's only getting this title shot because of a DQ finish. So it doesn't help Lacey at all whatsoever. It's not going to do anything for Asuka because, as I've said ad nauseum on this show for the last couple weeks and on the Raw preview last night and the week before, she is nothing more than a mere prop for whatever they're doing with Charlotte. And I think it's kind of sad because I talked about it last night on the Raw preview. Again, if 7:30 to 8 right here on YouTube, Raw preview show. You should join in. It's a lot of fun. Go down the rabbit hole on a few things. But I don't think. See, here's what worries me: is Lacey's gonna beat Asuka with the help of Ric Flair, which will lead into Charlotte challenging Lacey for the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania as the babyface. This is a weird thing because Lacey and Rick are obviously playing the heels here. However, Charlotte has done nothing babyface wise. She's walked out on matches with her tag partner. She's physically assaulted Lacey in a very heelish manner. But WWE wants us to think that she is the babyface. They want to get the sympathy on her in this. However, nobody's going to put sympathy on Charlotte. As Ollie Davis from Wrestle Talk says, she is the Omni Flair and is everywhere at all times. So I don't know what they're going to try to pull to get people to maybe feel some sympathy for Charlotte, but your hardcore wrestling fan is probably not going to buy into it. I mean, I'm not going to buy into it. I'm sure a lot of people that listen to the show aren't going to buy into it, but that is what they're going to try to pull for whatever reason. Then we get this week's Bad Bunny segment. So we get Edge, who now is being referred to by Ollie Davis as the Omni Edge because he's everywhere. He was on Raw, he was on NXT, he was on SmackDown. And let me just say for a second, let me just cut myself off. Edge's promo on NXT with Finn Balor and Pete Dunne was absolutely amazing. If you haven't checked it out, go on WWE's YouTube, look it up. That is what a promo should be. Like, that had fire, that had passion, that had a purpose. Then we get the stuff on SmackDown, which I don't really feel like going into it because it's several days old. I'm sure if you haven't seen it by now, then you're probably not going to see it. So we won't rehash SmackDown this week. Which ends up leading The Miz and John Morrison to come out along with Angel Garza, because apparently Angel Garza is now with Miz and Morrison, at least in the context of what we're going here. And the back and forth between Edge and Miz was really good. Miz talks about how no matter what Edge decides to do, he's going to cash in on him at WrestleMania, become the champion, to which Edge, who was once known as the ultimate opportunist and the man that really cemented the anytime, any place, anywhere philosophy of the Money in the Bank briefcase, one of the first men to really make that into an awesome part of WWE, basically told Miz that he's an idiot for telling him what his plans were, just like a Bond villain. Basically giving him his plans for whatever reason. I don't know why he would do that, because that's just what stupid villains do. But it was a great back and forth. This ends up leading into a match with Damian Priest taking on Angel Garza. Damian Priest dominates a pretty quick match. Went just under 4 minutes. more back and forth with Bad Bunny and the Miz and Morrison. So my guess is that at WrestleMania this year, we're gonna get Damian Priest and Bad Bunny taking on the team of Miz and John Morrison. Now I know there's a lot of people out there who are kind of questioning what Bad Bunny is exactly doing in WWE. I had no idea who Bad Bunny was um, until my first introduction to him was the commercials where he was with Snoop Dogg, whichever commercials that was, beer commercial, I think. I never heard of Bad Bunny. He is the most streamed person on Spotify in 2020. Spotify has millions upon millions of subscribers and listeners to that platform. I'm one of them. That's where all my music comes from. And people are kind of questioning why WWE is using the celebrity. But I'll give Bad Bunny credit. He's shown up to, he was at Rumble. He was at Raw last week. He was at Raw this week. He's kind of in it, which is nice. The fact that he's not just kind of coming in 1 or 2 shots, getting a payday and leaving. They're kind of making a storyline out of it. So I'm gonna let it play out a little bit. But here's an interesting. This is the real reason why I think that WWE has brought Bad Bunny in for this kind of long term, what we're going to assume is a long term story arc. Frightful.com put out a report today that Bad Bunny's merchandise has been dominating the WWE shop website. According to this report, there's been over $500,000 in Bad Bunny merchandise sales so far. And it was also reported that Bad Bunny recently had the top 4 spots, with Roman Reigns coming in at number 5. So this outsider, Bad Bunny, the most streamed artist on Spotify in all of 2020, has sold over $500,000 of merch in just a couple weeks, which is absolutely insane if you think about it. The other thing that they list here, Reigns' item at number 5 only had 65% of the sales as the number 4 Bad Bunny item. So Bad Bunny's merchandise through WWE Shop is just at this level, and then Roman is kind of like down here, 65. Roman Reigns is the best WWE superstar merch currently at number 5, and only has 65% of the number 4 spot on that list, which is held by Bad Bunny. Speaking of merch, I'll get to this later in the show. The new designs are live on our Spreadshirt shop. They are live. Some new designs. And I've got another one that I haven't gotten around to finalizing yet, but it'll be up by the end of the night, and you'll know what it is here soon. So what we want to do next. Let's go. So backstage, we get some stuff with Keith Lee and Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle apparently is a big fan of the Air Bud franchise. And to be perfectly honest, this whole stoner thing with Matt Riddle is totally played out now. They've kind of jumped the shark with the whole stoner thing. It was played way out on this week's episode. But him and Keith Lee are talking backstage, talking about Bobby Lashley, which ends up leading into a match between Keith Lee and Matt Riddle, which Keith Lee wins in just under 8 minutes. Really solid match between these two. They had some great stuff down in NXT. But I'll get to where this leads. So we'll talk about Elimination Chamber because shit just kind of doesn't make sense. So then out of nowhere, completely unannounced, we're told we're going to get Lana taking on Nia Jax in a tables match. No build. Nothing. So far on this show, You had AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy unannounced. Kofi Kingston making his in-ring return. New Day and tag action unannounced. We knew we were going to get Lacey and Charlotte in a face-to-face confrontation. That led to a match, which when you have the face-to-face confrontation, usually that leads into a match, so that was announced. Damian Priest versus Angel Garza. Bad Bunny is in the building. That was completely unannounced. Keith Lee versus Matt Riddle, a match that would have main evented any NXT takeover. It's just kind of thrown in there at the top of the third hour. Completely unannounced. We get, I guess, maybe I don't want to say it's the conclusion because we still have a tag match coming, but we get, a tables match between Lana and Nia Jax, completely unannounced. And then the main event saw Drew McIntyre take on Randy Orton, which is one of the only other things we knew about coming into Monday Night Raw. So I don't know if they just kind of threw this together or what the deal was. But let's see if we get this to work. Because this is just like the best thing ever.
Jax through the table.
Let's see if we can get this to work. Okay, the hotkeys aren't working. But I'm completely thrown off by because it's just that fucking crazy. Let's play it again just for shits and giggles.
Now on the apron. Jax went for a leg drop, tailbone first into the hardest part of the ring.
Well, that's all steel reinforcement out there, Tom.
Lana's still got to find a way to get Jax through the table. Jackson.
I've laughed so fucking hard at this shit all day long. What is up, DJ? Thanks for joining, my friend. Good to see you back in here. We were just talking about Nia's hole. I'm kind of wondering. Like, did they tell her to say that? Because she says my butt, and then she kind of stops, and then up my hole. I died laughing. It was probably the funniest thing I have seen ever. Like, I don't even really care about the match. It was just that clip. So later on tonight at wrestlingwithfans.com/shop, over on our Spreadshirt shop, you can get your very own #MyWhole t-shirt. It's coming to the shop. It's just the most ridiculous thing that has ever happened on Raw. I mean, Nia Jax a lot has just, you know what? Let's just watch it one more time.
Just now on the apron. Jax went for a leg drop, tailbone first into the hardest part of the ring.
Well, that's all steel reinforcement out there, Tom.
Lana's still got to find a way to get Jax through the table. Jackson.
I'm gonna run that into the ground because that's gonna be a part of the new intro I'm working on. And like I said, get your #MyWhole t-shirt later tonight over on our store. But Lana ended up winning the match. Right after that little video clip ends, Lana runs over and shoves Nia Jax into a table that was leaning up on the guardrail. So it seems that Lana has finally gotten some payback on Nia Jax. But we know it's not completely over yet because we're going to get Lana and Naomi taking on Shayna and Nia for the women's tag team titles here sometime soon. Then in the main event, we get Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. Solid match, however, ends in DQ when Sheamus gets involved. Raw was weird. I had notes. I'll leave notes over on that side, but I had notes. I kind of planned out what I thought would be a really good 2-night WrestleMania card with who we have now with a couple legends. But I had to kind of throw it out the window after Raw last night. For what happened on Raw and what we got from the Elimination Chamber was just some of the craziest stuff I have ever seen. Like I said last night, they only had 3 things announced and 1 match announced. And then we had so much other crap kind of just thrown in there. I mean, AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy should be a match that you announce. Kofi making his in-ring return in a tag match should be announced. Keith Lee versus Matt Riddle. Granted, it was based off of a backstage segment, but you can do that better. You announce that match. That's going to get people to tune in. But no, they gave us very, very little. And the ratings are in. And I got to find the ratings here. I pulled them up a couple minutes ago, and now I can't find them. I want to say it went up to... no, here we go. It actually went down. Raw averaged 1.715 million viewers, down from last week's 1.892. So this is what happens, WWE, when you don't announce anything. When the only thing they had listed on their preview, the preview email that went out, was Drew versus Randy. Drew was going to address the Sheamus situation from last week, and Lacey and Charlotte were going to have a face-to-face confrontation. Who's going to want to tune in to see that? There's really nothing there. They need to do better. And I have a feeling that most of the show was probably written yesterday afternoon. It feels like a very rushed, thrown together show that didn't make a lot of sense. But we did get a lot out of it. And we'll talk about Elimination Chamber and see what see where we set for this week, or for the pay-per-view, which is not that far away. Also, I completely forgot. NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day is this Sunday. It's on Valentine's Day. Well, I'll touch on that here in a couple minutes. What I'm going to do is take my normal mid-show break. Going to be showing off a figure unboxing video from here on the YouTube channel. Thank you to whoever the new subscriber was. We were up to 29 subscribers on YouTube, which is awesome. My goal was to hit 25 by the end of 2020. It didn't quite happen. But since then, we've bumped up, surpassed, blown that away. Now we're at 29. Looking to push to 30. Can we get 30 tonight? If someone could share this with their friends, get them to subscribe, get us to 30. Then it's to 50. Then it's 100. And then it's on from there. We're going to grow. But right now, we're going to take a look at a figure unboxing that of a figure that a lot of people are out there looking for. It is the Ultimate Edition Fiend Mattel figure. I was about to say Elite, but it's not Elite. It's the Ultimate Edition. So I'm going to throw to this clip. Be back in a couple minutes. Stick around. Hope you guys enjoy this little video. Be right back. Kyle here from Wrestling with Fans with a What is good, YouTube? Kyle here from Wrestling with Fans, back with a brand new figure unboxing video. And as you can see, we've got the Fiend Bray Wyatt's Ultimate Edition. Found this guy in the wild today. Did a quick little fig hunt to Target on my lunch break. They had 2 Fiends, 2 Hogans. Got the Hogan video out. You can check it out right up here if you so choose to. But it's all about the Fiend in this video. Again, I love these Ultimate Edition packages. They're so nice. Great, huge front window to see the Fiend with all of his accessories. Let's take a look at the packaging real quick. You see, just got his name on this side. The picture over here. On the back, you have the posing figure at the top. Picture here at the bottom. 6'3" from parts unknown. His finisher is the Mandible Claw. His career highlight is Universal Champion here at the bottom. It says, inside the Firefly Funhouse, Bray Wyatt has an underlying air of sinister intent. There is nothing underlying about his horrific alter ego, the Fiend. Birthed from an unsettling dark corners of Bray Wyatt's mind, the ghoulish Fiend awaits anyone who's ready to play. All you have to do is let him in. Guys, I'm super excited to open this Fiend up. You know how we do here on the channel. We're going to let him breathe right now. And just like that, there we have it. The Fiend out of his packaging. First, let's take a look at the accessories. He does come with his entrance jacket, like how it does have, I think they call them the dovetails there on the back. Nice detail in the buckling. I like how they have the texture to it, so it's waving, so it looks like it's actually setting on him. It's got the stud work there on the front, silver studs. Again, really good attention to detail. It looks like it's a jacket actually being worn. Now, it does come with the interchangeable arms, so when you have this the jacket on, you can swap out the arms, so it gives him the full entrance look. He comes with mic holding hands on, but he does come with the hurt and heal hands on his gloves there. They come actually, you can swap them out however you wanted to pose him. He does come with a second head scan with the tongue sticking out, which is a really cool look. He's got the dreads there in the back. The detail and these head scans for the Fiend is just absolutely amazing. It really captures the likeness of the mask and the creepiness that is the Fiend. And this is really cool too. It also comes with the custom Fiend Universal Championship. It's kind of got the let Fiend in. It's got hurt and heal on the top and bottom. You kind of look at the detail, the stitching, the detail in the face there. Really awesome stuff. And I like how it has the actual buckle straps, but you know, so when you have it around, it kind of would look like it's buckled a little bit, which is a pretty cool touch. If you've got him dragging it kind of like he does, you can just have the buckles laying there. But let's take a look at the Fiend figure himself. He does come with a different head here with the kind of dreads laying down. Get a good look at the scan here. Mattel did an amazing job capturing the likeness of the Fiend. I love these figures, and this is the Ultimate Edition, so you know it's going to be a little better. And this actually has, I don't know if the camera can pick up on it too good, but it does have the Praying Hands shirt that he is now wearing at times. And then see the detail, the buckles and the boots, really good attention to detail, and all the stuff they do in these. The tattoos look really good on both sides. You can see the back tattoo. He's got his chest tattoos there. Now the belt on here is just painted on. Look at the articulation. Now again, with the Ultimate figures, they do have the double jointed elbows, and this one's a little stuck. There we go. You can see the double jointed elbows, which is always nice. This does not have the butterfly shoulders like the Hollywood Hogan does. The bicep rotation, the wrist, both of those are really good. The waist turn, the chest, again, the double jointed knees, the thigh rotation, it's a little stuck there, but there we go. Does have the calf rotation. This Fiend is actually on an ankle pivot, which is nice, and it does have the forward and back movement, and it does have the toe, the toe articulation as well. Awesome stuff, the Fiend. But I do have another Fiend. This is the Elite 77. As you can see, they do a different chest. Now his belly's a little bit wider on the Ultimate Edition. Let's get a nice zoom in there. Get a nice clear shot for you guys. You can see the coloring in the pants is a little bit darker on the Elite as opposed to the Ultimate. They're about the same height. It looks like they're the same height. The only thing I don't like that the Ultimate doesn't not come with the lantern, but I can always put the lantern with the Ultimate when I pose them however I'd like. But there you can get a good comparison of the two head scans there. They're pretty similar. The hair's on the opposite side with the one lone braid kind of out here being all wild and whatnot, but we'll put the other Fiend aside. Guys, Fiend Ultimate Edition, if you're a fan of the Fiend, if you're a collector of Fiend merch and toys, this is a must-have. Alright guys, so there you have it. The Fiend Ultimate, little comparison with the Elite 77. Again, this is a must-have. If you like the Fiend, if you like the Ultimate line, this is definitely a must-have for any fig collector. But that's going to wrap it up for this figure unboxing video. If you enjoyed the video, give it a good old thumbs up. Leave us a comment with what you think of the Fiend Ultimate Edition. Let us know if you've got one, what you think of it. And as always, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more from Wrestling with Fans, click that subscribe button and turn on notifications by clicking that little bell icon to be notified anytime we post a new video here on YouTube. Make sure you check out the podcast, like us on Facebook. Everything is down in the video description below. Thank you all for watching. Once again, my name is Kyle. This has been Wrestling with Fans, and we'll see you guys in the next video. What's up, guys? If you enjoyed that video and you want to check out more from Wrestling with Fans, you can check out
Apron. Oh, no. Jax went for a leg drop, tailbone first, into the hardest part of the ring.
Well, that's all steel reinforcement out there, Tom.
Oh, Lana still got to find a way to get Jax through the table. That's it.
So you had to know we were coming back with that clip there. The best clip ever. Such good shit. Such good shit. All right, before we dive into anything else, let me bring this in here. So, let me get back. If I can figure out what I'm doing here. So, just announced a little while ago, for you fig guys, AEW Wave 1 Micro Brawlers are coming tomorrow. As you can see here in the infographic that I've got on the screen, you can get Darby Allin, Britt Baker, Orange Cassidy, Chris Jericho, The Exalted One, Brody Lee, Jon Moxley, and Hikaru Shida. They go on for pre-order tomorrow, February 10th, or yesterday, February 10th, depending on if you're watching live or listening to the audio stream, at 8 p.m. Eastern, and the live and the pre-sale. Let me do y'all a service here. Let's do this so y'all can see it better. So the pre-orders are available from February 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern through February 18th at 1 p.m. Eastern. They'll be available at shopaew.com. No limit per customer. They'll ship in the spring. $17.99 each plus shipping. And what I'm guessing they're going to do with these is whatever is ordered is what they will make for everyone. Over the weekend, they did a whole weekend of Macho Man Randy Savage micro brawlers. And I ended up ordering one and a new shirt, which will be debuting soon as I get it. But the Macho Man micro brawlers are shipping, I think, in March or April. I'm sure these will probably ship around the same time. So if you're into micro brawlers and you've always wanted some AEW micro brawlers, February 10th through February 18th, get your pre-orders in. I never collected micro brawlers, and I don't really see the appeal in them, but I had to order one of the Macho Man ones because I love Randy Savage, and I will definitely be getting Brody Lee because I'm sure all the proceeds will go to his family. I may pick up Jericho just to have a Jericho, maybe a Darby or a Pockets. I'm not going to get all of them. I might get maybe two. I'll limit myself to Brody and maybe one other. Just to have. A pretty cool collector item. A lot of people are all over the place with these micro brawlers. So if you're into micro brawlers, you want some AEW micro brawlers, this is your chance to get some micro brawlers. Speaking of merch segue alert. The new designs are live on our Spreadshirt shop. I don't know, the colors are off. I don't know why the colors are off, but as you can see, we've got the classic blue logo Wrestling with Fans podcast t-shirt. And we've got the newer. This is kind of a play on the Married with Children logo. One of my favorites, probably my favorite show of all time. Grew up loving the Bundys. I kind of did a play on of the Married with Children logo, Wrestling with Fans. So you can see the classic logo, the blue logo. I've got another logo that is still pending. I don't know why it's not on here yet, but it's uploaded. Plus, don't forget the hashtag MyWhole coming to the store soon. But if you want to help support the show and you want some nice Wrestling with Fans merch, head over to wrestlingwithfans.com/shop. You get a little preview there. Click that picture, and that'll take you to our Spreadshirt shop to get all your Wrestling with Fans merch. Now, I got to clean this up and take some of these items off, but hoodies, shirts, hats, mugs, water bottles, all kinds of good stuff. Stickers. Get it all, the merch, different logos. Got a third logo coming. Got some other stuff. Some Because Reason shirts. Maybe a consensual penis shirt if I can figure out how to do it. If you're a fan of the old shows, you know what I'm talking about. Good old Enzo Amore. But that is the shop right now. Again, wrestlingwithfans.com/shop. Click that picture. It'll take you to our shirt shop.
Oh, no. Jax went for a leg drop, tailbone first, into the hardest part of the ring.
Well, that's all steel reinforcement out there, Tom.
Oh, Lana still got to find a way to get Jax through the table. Jackson.
And you know we had to come in with it one more time. Every transition I'm going to bring in with my hole. I tried to work on a stinger transition with that, but I couldn't quite get it finished in time for the show. So hopefully I'll have it done for next week. But just such good shit right there. Two quick things to talk about before we wrap up. We're getting close to the 9 o'clock hour here on Tuesday night. Let's talk about Elimination Chamber. I've got a couple matches. It takes place February 21st from Tropicana Field at the Thunderdome in St. Petersburg, Florida. Talked about it a little while ago. Drew McIntyre defending the WWE Championship in the Elimination Chamber against AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Sheamus, and The Miz. We got Asuka defending the Raw Women's Championship. The first time I think she's defending that title in a couple months against Lacey Evans. And the one thing that makes the least amount of sense, I have a triple threat match for the United States Championship. Bobby Lashley will be defending against Keith Lee and Matt Riddle. Now, we were kind of led to believe on Raw that Keith Lee and Matt Riddle was an impromptu, kind of sort of number one contender match for the U.S. title, which Keith Lee won. So I expected that would lead to a match between Lashley and Keith Lee. However, Matt Riddle has been thrown in as well, even though he has been unsuccessful in the previous 2 or 3 times that he's tried to capture the U.S. title. And the fact that it's a triple threat match tells me one thing, is that they will probably put the U.S. title on Keith Lee. However, they do not want Bobby Lashley to take the pinfall. So Matt Riddle has been inserted into this match because he will probably be the one to take the pinfall. Whether they have Bobby Lashley retain or Keith Lee capture the U.S. title, Matt Riddle is there to take the pinfall. Because Bobby Lashley is the most protected man in all of WWE. I don't remember the last time I talked about it a couple weeks ago, the last time he had lost a singles match. It's been forever. DJ says, I can't wait for fans to get back. The energy on Raw is bad right now. Yes, it is. The Thunderdome concept was really fun at first. I've been on the Thunderdome and actually made it onto Raw a couple months ago, wearing my Adam Cole Bebe t-shirt with an NXT hat. I made it on to several scenes. I got some cool screenshots. Maybe I'll share those or make a collage or something to put over on Facebook. But I'm ready for fans. I'm ready for energy. I think what AEW has done on Wednesdays with allowing a couple thousand people into Daly's Place. Granted, it is an outdoor venue, so it's more in tune with what CDC guidelines are for the virus. People are socially distanced, only sitting with their individual groups that they come with. But yeah, I'm ready for fans too. I want a live crowd. What I'm hearing, I guess I'll throw this in here too. From what I'm hearing, WWE is using the Super Bowl as kind of a template for what to do with WrestleMania this year, because the Super Bowl was at Raymond James Stadium, the home of WrestleMania 37. It was supposed to be the home of WrestleMania last year, but that's when, the virus swept the world and things kind of got shut down. But they are going back to Raymond James Stadium for this year's WrestleMania. And I believe the reports were 20 couple thousand, maybe 30,000 in Raymond James Stadium. And then they filled the rest of the empty seats with cardboard cutouts. Now, whether Vince and company will do the same and allow fans to kind of sit in their groups. They'll sell tickets in little sections and groups, and then so they know where the seats will be, and then maybe they'll fill the empty seats with cardboard cutouts. I don't know how that'll work. With football, it's pretty simple. You have the field, and then all the fans are back off of it up in the stands. With wrestling, it's a lot different, because you have all the floor seats and usually a few riser seat sections before getting into the stadium, the stadium seats. So how WWE is going to handle that, we'll have to wait and see. Will they keep going it after? As far as Thunderdome with fans, I think once fans are allowed back in, they'll probably stay that way, unless things change. I'm guessing. I don't know, and I don't envy WWE and their decision making right now. It's got to be extremely difficult for them to want to put fans in the building because they know the product's suffering. The ratings are falling year over year anyway, as it is. But with the Thunderdome, it's just not the same with the live crowd. I know several friends of mine, including Bobby from this podcast, hasn't really watched in a year because without fans, it's just not the same. And I don't want to say I'm starting to get used to no fans because they have been pumping in the crowd noise, but the chance is just ridiculous. But wrestling needs fans, and AEW has done a good job. I don't know why Vince and company can't do something similar with the Thunderdome. They could stay at Tropicana Field, close off a large portion like they have for the Thunderdome, but allow a couple hundred fans in, a couple thousand fans in, just make sure they're completely spaced out and distance from each other. They have an entire baseball stadium at their disposal right now. And with WrestleMania being at Raymond James, they're going to have an entire football stadium at their disposal. So I'm sure they are probably crunching numbers and trying different layouts to come up with something that's going to work to allow as many people in there as they can possibly have while keeping them socially distanced and keeping them safe. So fingers crossed we get a big crowd at WrestleMania. Big is within the confines of what they're allowed to do. So yeah, we got a couple matches for Elimination Chamber set. And in the completely forgot we've got a pay-per-view this weekend. Takeover Vengeance Day will be this Sunday, February 14th at the Performance Center at the Capitol Wrestling Center. Now, it's called Vengeance Day. Now, if you remember, WWE used to have a pay-per-view. It started as In Your House Vengeance. Then it was just Vengeance Day. But I think they really missed the ball on calling this, bringing back the old St. Valentine's Day Massacre pay-per-view. That was like February 2000. It was the debut. The main event was Vince McMahon versus Stone Cold Steve Austin in a steel cage match. And it was the debut of Paul White, a.k.a. The Big Show. The pay-per-view's happening on Valentine's Day, and I think they're kind of dropping the ball not calling it St. Valentine's Day Massacre. But right now, there are 5 matches announced for Vengeance Day. You have a triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship. Io Shirai defending against Toni Storm and Mercedes Martinez. Then you have the finals of the Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez taking on either Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart or Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. That match is going to take place this Wednesday on NXT. By the time you hear the podcast version of this show, that we're going to know who that winner is. And then on the other side, the men's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Final. Got the semifinals taking place this Wednesday. So you got MSK taking on Legado del Fantasma. And they'll take on the winner of the Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. No matter which 2 teams come out of the men's side, it's going to be just an amazing match. I'm kind of pulling for the Grizzled Young Veterans versus MSK. I think that would just be awesome to elevate both of those teams. Then you have Johnny Gargano defending the NXT North American Championship against Kushida, which is finally Kushida's getting some real shine now, which is nice to see. So glad that they're finally using Kushida pretty good. And yes, DJ, we are at 30 subscribers now. So shout out to whoever number 30 was. Thank you so much. Thank you, DJ, for sharing that to get us to 30. Appreciate that so much. And finally, what could be a match of the year contender in February? Finn Balor defending the NXT Championship against Pete Dunne. That is the match I want to see above all else. Finn Balor and Pete Dunne. I can't wait to see that. NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day again is this coming Sunday. I'm super excited. Super, super excited for that match. And that is a good note to end on. 30 subscribers on the live streams. Thanks again, everybody. Thank you, DJ, for sharing. Thank you to whoever the magic number 30 was. Now it's on to 50. The next goal is 50. I'd love to hit 100 by the end of the year. I think I can do better than 100 by the end of the year. But that's the modest goal, is 100 subs by the end of the year. Just grinding live streams, grinding videos. You saw it on the Raw preview. If you checked out the Fig Hunt video, which is now live on the channel, got the Macho Man WrestleMania 3 figure. I got the Andre the Giant WrestleMania 3 figure. Picked up Kyle O'Reilly, thanks to Bobby with an assist from Josh, bringing it up for me. Jake the Snake Roberts, Legends Series 8. And it's time for a super kick party. It's the Young Bucks, Wave 3. Shout out to my buddy John, who ended up finding Orange Cassidy out there. That is one that I really need to get. Need to get that Orange Cassidy AEW figure. So check that out. Also, check out facebook.com/wrestling with fans. Hulk smash that like button to keep up to date with everything we do here on the podcast. Join us for the live streams every single Tuesday at 8 p.m. right here on YouTube. We used to stream on Facebook. Now we're streaming exclusively on YouTube because I think I have a better chance to grow here on YouTube. So that's the idea. And don't forget to join us on Mondays from 7:30 to 8 p.m. Eastern for our Monday Night Raw preview. Wednesdays from 7:30 to 8 for the Wednesday Night War preview, AEW and NXT. Both shows always put out a lot of what's going on the show, so it's always good. So you know what's going on every Wednesday. So there's a lot to talk about on Wednesdays. And then Fridays back here, 7:30 to 8 p.m. Eastern for our SmackDown on Fox preview. That is the live streaming schedule. And then we got some YouTube videos going up throughout the week as well. So make sure you go to youtube.com, search Wrestling with Fans Podcast, click the blue logo, and then click that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified anytime we get a new video posted, turn on the notifications. DJ says, I'll join tomorrow, but I don't watch NXT, so I'll be clueless. Do you watch AEW? Are you an AEW guy? I'm curious. Or are you just kind of a WWE guy? I'm always curious to who listens to the show, what they like. I know I've talked mostly about WWE a lot because they have so much more TV and the timing of the show. I record on Tuesdays. The podcast releases on Thursdays. And in that time, we have AEW and NXT. You should watch NXT. I highly recommend NXT. It has been my favorite brand. I even hate using that word for a while now. AEW is good too. I was very critical of Dynamite in the first 8 or 9 months, but they have slowly started to win me over. I think AEW could be a lot better than it is, but they have won me over in the last year. I've actually enjoyed a lot of what AEW has done. There's still a lot of dumb shit that I don't like and I still talk about from time to time. But for the most part, I think they're doing a solid. And NXT is just great across the board. Kudos to Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Road Dogg and their team down in NXT for just putting on fire shows week in and week out. Plus, takeovers are the best pay-per-views you can watch. Twitch.tv/wrestling with fans. It's free to follow over there. And finally, again, wrestlingwithfans.com/shop if you want to help support the show and get a cool t-shirt with our logo on it. So you can do all that over there. That is going to do it for this week's episode. You know what? Just for the hell of it, let's do it one more time.
Oh, no. Jax went for the leg drop, tailbone first into the hardest part of the ring.
Well, that's all steel reinforcement out there, Tom.
Oh, Lana still got to find a way to get Jax through the table. Jackson.
It's all about my hole. Oh, God, this has been a fun stream. Thanks again, DJ, for joining in. Thank you all for getting us to 30 subs here on YouTube. Much appreciated. Love all you guys and gals out there in Wrestling with Fans land. That kind of sounds pretty good. I kind of like that. Wrestling with Fans land. Could be a theme park in about 10 years, maybe. But again, that's going to do it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next week right here on Wrestling with Fans.